All right, happy Tuesday night, everybody. Glad you guys are hanging out with us here on the daily broadcast. We got Tech basketball coming up at 8 o'clock out at the United Supermarkets Arena. Who brings us the chat line? Who allows you to talk to? Oh, that'd be United Supermarkets. Wow, yeah, that's pretty cool. The way that works out. Give us your Texas Tech Baylor predictions, thoughts. Will there be a Houston a hangover for the Red Raiders tonight against the Bears? Will there be a Bears hangover from beating Kansas in the big comeback? How do you think this goes? -8, Texas Tech favored about 141.5, give or take, on the total. What do you think happens in the game? Super Bowl hype. We gave you the greatest Super Bowl halftime show ever today on our column. You give us yours tonight. The ultimate, this is the Tuesday's best, brought to you by Kyle Rogers, Remax Realty. You make one call for your realtor. You make two calls for Tuesday's best. The two best performers you would have at a Super Bowl halftime show. Fire away, Tech football schedule release. You got to play somebody. Although it looks like no Baylor for the first time since 55. That kind of sucks. All right, let's get you going on the broadcast tonight. You guys know what to do. If the audio is good, the video is good, give us thumbs up, then share it. Invite your friends in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, where you start your day. You give us a few minutes of your time. We're going to give you your questions of the day, our thoughts on what's going on. We're going to give you the freshest, hottest links in the world in West Texas. The Raiderland Hot Links. Cool stuff we find that we think you're going to love. Sports, non-sports, West Texas, you name it. We love cobbling it together. We love leading it off every day. By the way, here's a little shout out to Dane Dubry over there at South Plains College, who gives us our morning sunrise, which a lot of days is when the sun rises. So here's to Dane. As we said, brought to you tonight by Kyle Rogers, your realtor in Raiderland there at Remax. You make one call when you need to sell a house, buy a house, two calls on Tuesday's best. So see, it's one call that's better. That's easier to do. The Reserve, a culinary tavern, 103rd and Quaker in Lubbock, Texas. Great brunch. You guys know that. Eclectic menu. It's fun. It's a great place to watch a game. You can actually hear there at the Reserve. You got great drinks, great food. If you can't make it out to the game tonight, or you're like cruising around right now going, man, we can't commit to 8 to 10 o'clock tonight, but we watch a little of it. Well, go hang out at the Reserve. Tell them we said hey. All that tonight. Whatever else is on your mind, we want to hear from you. But where are you with this Texas Tech basketball team? We'll give you where they are. It's the best position they've been in probably 5 years this time of the year, as far as NCAA projected seeding. Now, what do they do with it? Now they are the hunted, not the hunter. Now they are the team that has got the target squarely planted on their back for the first time, really, I think, up to this point all year. You go back and look at the Iowa State game. Even though you were favored at home, you were still the underdog when you looked at rankings. Going into Houston Saturday night, you were a 10-point dog, 9-point dog. Now you're an 8-point favorite, and you're trying to take care of a Baylor team that's used to playing in some big games and just won one. What do you think happens? The other thing I want to get your comments in tonight, let's have some fun with Super Bowl hype. And we'll do more with the actual game as it goes along. I am loving the idea that I may get to take the Kansas City Chiefs as a contrarian play. And by that, I mean, as the week goes on, a little bit more money is shifting to Philadelphia, going Philadelphia way. You're hearing more and more people say, yeah, Philadelphia. If this were a regular season game, not a Super Bowl, if you just look at the two teams, everything says Philadelphia. The run game with Barkley, what they've been able to do this year, the explosive offense at times, the way the Chiefs have just barely won games, barely won one-score games. This is a decrepit Chiefs offense with an aging Kelsey, a run game that you can't count on. Okay. Keep saying that. Keep doing that. Keep driving that number towards Philadelphia. And I'll wait till game day. And if you ever give me a chance to take Patrick Mahomes as a pick'em or a dog? Really? Okay. Sign me up for some of that, okay? All right, fire away on the comment line, the chat line. Thanks to United Supermarkets, Market Street. They've got, you guys need to pay attention to this, by the way, at Market Street. The ad specials going into the weekend, particularly meat. We love meat. We like to get meat. They've got incredible ad specials on that going into the weekend. Then towards the end of the week, also look at the end caps and look at the little, hey, we got to get rid of this meat. The government makes us sell the meat. Go buy the meat cheap. It's good meat. Craig, the talking box is on, one of the first ones in on Facebook today. He also gives us the first prediction of the day there with Texas Tech 87, Baylor 79. Man, I think that's too high. We're looking at a 141.5 total. I think we're going to dance right around that. So 140, 70. If we break it out, then you got the 8-point spread. So are you 75, 65 on a cover? Where do you think this is played? I really think this is going to be played around that 141 number. I mean, if Tech goes out and scores 87 points, yippee-ki-yay, I'm all about that. I don't see it being played at that high a scoring game. Maybe so. We have not talked about the officials tonight in this game, and I don't know if I have those. Give me half a second. We may have those posted now for human consumption. Go here. Go to there. I got to click here. Real-time action going on here. And we'll look at that. Give me notes and docs. Come on. Help me out. Stay with me. Stay with me. Got anybody I know on the officiating crew? Notes and docs. Your officials tonight. Ray Natali, Brooks Wells, and Chance Moore. Now, the reason I bring that up is after what transpired in Houston, will they be calling it tight tonight? Will they call it loose? Will they not want to call a foul in front of the Texas Tech home crowd, which is going to be out for blood against the officials tonight? Make no doubt about it. The Tech crowd will be out for blood against the officiating tonight. So what do you think happens this evening? You tell us. Jump in. Give us your thoughts, predictions on Baylor. I like Tech. I'm not sure I love I don't know that I love the -8. I could see maybe 5 or 6. I don't know that I love that number. And that's the great thing about it. You don't have to bet it. They have to hang a number. You don't have to bet it every single time. But if I were looking at this, I would say maybe 6 or 6. I feel a little bit better about 6 going in tonight than I would necessarily 8. We'll see how it plays as it goes through. All right, let's go to Super Bowl hype. Get your thoughts, questions in on this. The ultimate Super Bowl halftime show is quite simply anything you want it to be. This year, it's not Drake, Kendrick, or somebody. I don't even know. I don't know who it is. I think I do, but it's a performer I'm not very familiar with. That's fine. That's okay. Because we're going to create our own Super Bowl halftime show. You have 15 minutes to do the halftime show. There's not a lot of time. The pregame shows and everything else, you got more time. It ought to be better. So we gave you ours on the column earlier today at theraiderland.com. You give me yours tonight. You got 15 minutes. If you're on YouTube, we want to hear from you. We got you taken care of thanks to United Supermarkets, our great YouTube fans. We got you taken care of on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Chime in, just, hit the little StreamYard thing and off you go. And then we got you taken care of on Facebook Live. So you can give us the best, but I want you to give us what you would do, because I think I've got the best one, at least for me. Again, we have 15 minutes. So we want maximum impact, right? We want maximum impact in the 15 minutes we have. The gun ends the first half. And immediately, coming out of the tunnel on a rolling stage, There is freaking Jerry Seinfeld, and he's going to give us about 6 minutes. Yeah, about 6 minutes of solid comedy. Never before seen, stand up, new, fresh material. Jerry freaking Seinfeld, 6 minutes of comedy. Hey, what's the deal with this rolling stage? I mean, what's up with the stage? I used to have to go to the stage. Now the stage takes me to the audience. This is crazy stuff. I've got an Uber driver trying to get me to tip him for moving the stage. This is nutty, wacky stuff. What's up with the stage? So Jerry Seinfeld rolls out, and everybody is going to watch that, right? You're going to watch that on TV. 100% you're going to watch Seinfeld do stuff you've never seen. And we roll through that for, 6-7 minutes. While that's going on, the stage is being set up, and now we're going to rock. We don't have time to do anything else. It's Lynyrd Skynyrd. The surviving members, people who knew Lynyrd Skynyrd, 38 Special, people who've been in a Lynyrd Skynyrd tribute band, people from the audience who know the lyrics to Lynyrd Skynyrd songs. We've got about another 9 minutes. That's basically 1.5 songs from Lynyrd Skynyrd, depending on which ones you want to do. But it's going to be great because it's going to be freaking Skynyrd. By the way, here's to my dogs. You can tell that my wife has arrived back at the home studios tonight. Hey, babe. Everybody loves Skynyrd. You can't not have a good time with Skynyrd. Seinfeld, Skynyrd. Tell me you wouldn't watch that. You wouldn't get up and move if that was going to be the deal. So now give me your two best, thanks to Kyle Rogers, Remax Realty, your two best performers that you would have at a Super Bowl halftime show. Craig says best Super Bowl halftime show was Lady Gaga or Snoop Dogg or Dre. I couldn't disagree more. Michael, Kenny Chesney and Tim McGraw. I'm going to plead ignorant and say, has that happened? And if it hasn't, I don't want to see it. Andrew, the best halftime show was Prince. In the Rain, Colts Bears, literally purple rain in the rain. What more do you freaking want? Pretty dang good. But obviously, Andrew forgets the tremendous Up With People halftime show. I believe maybe Super Bowl 5. Robert, he's on YouTube. That's our channel. Mike Fisher said on his podcast tonight that the Dallas could get Super Bowl 63. Yay. Hopefully it'll go better than last time because you get an ice storm and it sucked. And really, Dallas sucks as a Super Bowl destination because it's not set up around the Super Bowl venue to host events like this. It's not. Dallas sucks as a Super Bowl venue. Don't do it. Oh, hold on. All right. So Alan's on YouTube. That's a channel and not drugs, as far as we know. Where are my Twitter people? I mean, we had like 400 people, I think, on Twitter yesterday when it was all said and done. I know you guys can get in on the comments. Thanks to United Supermarket. We see them come through. Jump in, get your comments going. Tuesday's best, the ultimate Super Bowl halftime show. What would it be for you? Tech basketball predictions tonight against Baylor. We'll go as long as it's good tonight, as long as the conversation is good. The Tech football schedule was released. I don't think there was anything earth-shattering there, really. So, I mean, if you want to get into that, you can. We could just predict every single game. Texas Tech's going to go 14-0. Halftime show will be a TV series finale scenes of MASH, St. Elsewhere, and Lost. You're going to cry, appreciate the football, and a small screen cinema. Okay, MASH, goodbye, farewell, and amen. St. Elsewhere, we find out that the entire show is based on an autistic child with a snow globe. Oh, yeah, we're all watching that going, really? That's what we got here? Lost, I have no idea how that thing ended. I would sub in the end of the Newhart show when we find out there was a freaking dream that Bob Newhart had with Suzanne Plachette in 1974. Now, that's the end of the show. Lost, I have nothing for you. Trace Lynyrd Skynyrd with special guest Chris Stapleton. Was it Stapleton who did the anthem a couple of years ago? I think maybe. Yeah, Leonard Skinner, surviving members. Anyone who knows Leonard Skinner, we know Leonard Skinner's not an actual guy. It was a gym teacher they named the band after, by the way. Anyhow, tribute band. If you had a tribute band for Leonard Skinner, what would it be? Skinny Leonard. Andy, see, Andy, good to see you back there on Facebook. Best halftime show. Go have an adult beverage. I believe I will. I mean, it can be cool. It can be done. Hat tip and shout out to my friend Gil Alexander and Kelly Bidlin on beating a numbers game on VSiN this morning, talking about the origination of some of the halftime shows and how it went from Up With People and stuff like that to this extravaganza. And it was early 90s when Fox counter-programmed with the live in living color sketch deal that they were going to do. I don't know if you guys remember that. In Living Color was a great show, by the way. Here's to the Fly Girls. Here's to the Wayans brothers. Here's to a young Jim Carrey. And, Fox got the great idea long before the Lingerie Bowl, long before the Puppy Bowl, everything else. What if we actually did something? And they did with a countdown clock. And I can't remember whether it was CBS or NBC who had it. Yeah, halftime show. Dogs are going crazy. They're so bent. Stapleton. And I don't remember seeing that. I just remember everybody saying how great it was on the anthem there. So we'll take your word for it. Ultimate Super Bowl halftime show. You get two performers. Who would you put out there? Who does it? What do they do and why? I give you Jerry Seinfeld for half of it. I'll give you Leonard Skinner for the next half. Men's basketball tonight against Baylor. Baylor's a little beat up, but they're feeling pretty good right now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see their health coming into this game if they get anybody back that they haven't had. I think from a Texas Tech standpoint, just don't start off slow. Give the crowd a reason to get into it. And God help the officials if they make a questionable call early on that goes against Texas Tech, because that crowd will be 100% out for blood. I do not like the -8 line. I think -6 is a better number. We'll see. I think the 141.5 is probably about right. It's just, how do you see that breaking out? If we go 70-70, we're at, 140. So 72, 70, 40, where do you think that plays out? I wouldn't touch this game, by the way, from a fiduciary standpoint with a 10-foot pole. There are too many weird things that can happen with Scott Drew, end of games, how he might decide to play it out, what Texas Tech would do, everything else. Let's see. David Collier, KMIC 28 sports director, very famous. He's on television. Don't you dare forget Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson on In Living Color. Not the band Living Color, but In Living Color. I mean, at that time, that blew away Saturday Night Live. It was the best comedy sketch show out there. Not even close. Homie don't play that. Just unbelievably creative. Alan on YouTube. The halftime show should be Gordon Ramsay berating the stadium food sold at the Super Bowl. Okay, what I would actually, like we do like a Hell's Kitchen or something, or what, do they go into the concession area? Or that'd be great. Or even better, the AI or Grok created Anthony Bourdain in his disdainful hatred of common American concession stand food, and how he would just be rated and say, I could walk through a better market in Bangladesh, or go through the streets of Beirut, or I could walk down any common avenue in Greece, and I could get anything better than what you're serving up to me here at this height of American culinary decadence, which is no good and not good for anybody. And then Elon Musk comes through and just hits delete, and the AI Anthony Bourdain is gone. All right, we can see how we can do this. By the way, good to see you out there. Be safe traveling around the city tonight. A lot of stuff going on out there, Collier. Got to watch out. 8 o'clock tip. Yeah. Highlights or partial highlights coming up tonight. Red Raider Nation, KBAC 28, your ABC affiliate in the Hubaplex. Tuesday's best, the Ultimate Super Bowl halftime show. I give you fresh Jerry Seinfeld for about 6 or 7 minutes. The rest is Leonard Skinnard. If you can beat that, let me know. You know, comedian Shane Gillis would be the follow-up act, just eating everything Ramsey slammed and telling insensitive jokes. Not opposed to that. All right, so last night we got squeezed on time, and I didn't get to tell you. We asked the question, like, you could play in any Super Bowl. You would actually be a participant in any Super Bowl. And if you want to get in here at the end on this, that's cool. Which Super Bowl and why? I told you mine would alter history. I would change the course of history. The fabric of American society would change. And it's real simple. I don't say this without, a little bit of gravitas. I would have played in Super Bowl 10 as a special teams player for the Dallas Cowboys. I would only appear on field goal block. And I appear in one game, one play. And my only mission going back in time, playing in Super Bowl 10, is to tackle Cliff Harris. With the Cowboys leading, I believe it was 10-3 or 10-7. And I tackled Cliff Harris before he gets into the backfield after Roy Jarrella misses a field goal. And then Cliff Harris pats him on the head in mocking disdain. And then we know what happens. Jack Lambert takes Cliff Harris, face plants him into the ground. Today he would be arrested, goes to jail. All hell breaks loose. In Super Bowl 10, everybody just looks around and goes, yeah, F-A-F-O. And then the Steelers go on and win. It ignited a fire in the Steelers. My one job would have been to stop Cliff Harris. I tackle him before he can get back there. The field goal is still missed. It doesn't matter. But doubt, fear, angst creeps in on the Pittsburgh side. Now people are wondering why some special team scrub tackled his own player. I'm out of there before it, gets to the third quarter. I don't care. I'm teleporting out. And it plays out. The Cowboys win the game. The Cowboys are the team of the decade. The Cowboys win 10. They've won Super Bowl 5. They go back and win 12. That's 3 on my count. And then in Super Bowl 13, they own the Steelers by that point. They're the team of the decade, America's team. I might have to go back there if we need anything and make sure we don't have a guy with a cast on his hand trying to recover an onside kick. What the hell are you doing, Tom? But I can only take one team at a time. And when I alter history, when I do that, the Cowboys become the team of the decade. The Cowboys are the ones who have everybody on their roster in the NFL Hall of Fame, like the Steelers, who have several players who were really good, but just because they were on the Steelers, they got in. Cowboys didn't get in. Tom Landry goes into the 80s. We're rocking and rolling. Maybe Roger Staubach hangs around another year. Maybe not. Either way, I go back. I play in Super Bowl 10. I tackle Cliff freaking Harris. My one job. That if you could go back and play in any Super Bowl game, which game would you play in and why? That was mine. David Collier is jumping in. I'd hand the ball off to Walter Payton, not William Perry. At least Mike Ditka fairly soon after, and then as his career went on. So one of his biggest regrets as a coach was not giving the ball to Peyton at the goal line, letting him get a Super Bowl in the closing days of Peyton's career after gutting it out for so many years, and then they freaking give in to the media mania that is the refrigerator Perry. They're against the New England Patriots in Super Bowl XX something something something. Ditka did admit it, though, that was a huge mistake on his part. We all agree. Alan, I would participate in Super Bowl 49, managed to run into Pete Carroll on the sideline before he could call a pass play at the goal line. I just remember the sad meme from that horrible commercial that ran that said, I would have run the ball, but I died. That little kid, remember that? God, that was awful. Don't run commercials in the Super Bowl that make people sad. People happy. Want to be happy. Michael, Titans versus Rams. I'd be on the bench for the Rams and be glad I got a ring. Didn't deserve it. Greatest show on turf, baby. Sadly. I mean, Chuck Nolan would have been awesome if he could have seen it live, just to see how close the team he didn't even know about existed, was in the Super Bowl, but it would have been good. Here's to Chuck Nolan, by the way. Hope he's doing well. A few more minutes left. The Tuesday's Best Ultimate Super Bowl halftime show. Who would you have? Tech men's basketball predictions. I'll take Texas Tech by 7, just a tick below the cover on this one tonight. If you can get this thing, it doesn't matter how you get it. I think the key is going to be get off to a good start. Don't be too flat. Give the crowd a reason to get into it. They want to get into it tonight. They're liquored up. They're lathered up. They've been waiting around. Got to wait till 8 o'clock. Give them a reason to get involved early on. Play fairly clean, and I think you'll be okay. Andy, I would have helped Jackie Smith catch the touchdown pass against the Steelers. See, like, you could have been backup tight end. Who was the backup tight end to Billy Joe Dupree in 79? Golly, who was that? I can't think. Anyhow, so you could have come underneath the route, right? You could have come underneath the route knowing that Smith is going to have it just go straight off his hands and chest. You're going to fall towards the ground. You could have been just shadowing that and just dove in there and grabbed the ball. And then, Vern Lundquist would have had the most amazing call in the world. Wide open Jackie Smith. He drops the ball. He's got to be the sickest man in America. Who is that guy? Who is that guy who we don't even know who Andy St. John is, and he just covered the ball. Tech 74, Baylor 68, just win. That's a just win, and that's not a cover, but that's an over. If you want to play the 140, I think it's still sitting at 141.5. Boy, that's a tight number on this game. Yeah. How do they know? How do they know in Vegas? Again, I wouldn't touch this from a fiduciary standpoint. There's so many other better games, and that's the best advice anyone can ever give you if you're into betting, if you like sports betting and all that stuff, and you're learning about it, you're doing this. You don't have to bet every game. They have to hang a number on every game. You don't have to bet it. They have to put a number out there. You don't have to touch it. Don't feel like everything you walk up on, you got to take a bite of. You don't have to do it. All right? Okay? Remember that this weekend, by the way. Super Bowl prop bets. We'll talk more about that as the weekend goes on. And all this stuff that they're going to try to sucker you into. You don't have to do it. You don't have to. And the thing with the Super Bowl from a betting standpoint, normally it's an incredibly efficient market that has really sought out alpha. There are a lot of people, smart people, that go around that think this market is not as efficient as some have been in the past, that there are perhaps some ill-hung numbers regarding where the Eagles are in relationship to this game. I disagree. I understand the people who look at this and go, if this were a Week 9 game, how would it look? It ain't a Week 9 game. It's a Super Bowl game. And Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. Keep that in mind. Oh, good. The smoke alarm is going off in my house. Here at the studios. That can't be good, right? That's off now. Alan jumps in before we get out of here. BYU -3 at home to Arizona. Zona feels like a good play. Boy, they've been really good since Tech beat them. Is there a hangover again after that Arizona State game? They're coming off a huge emotional game. You had the big call there at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, that led to a lot of controversy. BYU, a lot of people there. Home court advantage? Not so much. Alan, I'll let you roll with that one. I don't think I'd do anything with it. Jan's going to finish it up tonight on Facebook. 82-74, guns up. 82-74, Jan. Remember, Jan said that'll probably be the final score. All right. I still think that's too high on the Tech side. If you gave me 72, 65, 72, 67, 6. I don't know. I'm all over the place on the game. Pay no attention to me. All right, tomorrow morning on the website, Wednesday, we give you the alt history question of the week. You guys are going to love that. More Super Bowl hype. We'll be back also with our, hey, be sure and check out our 60 Seconds of Raiderland every day. We put that out there, just a few quick thoughts. And then back tomorrow night, big broadcast tomorrow night. We'll be looking back on this game. You guys have fun watching the game tonight. I ask you to do one more thing. Follow us on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Follow us on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. Follow us on our Facebook page. Everything is free. Watch where you want to watch, and then share this with your friends. Invite them in. We're going to post this on the website here in just a few minutes, theraiderland.com. All right. You guys are the best. We'll